Hey guys, it's me, Alex, and I'm here to review Resident Evil 7. Now I know I'm not doing my traditional of having my phone in front of me. I'm trying to try everything differently with my videos. So I just thought just show a slideshow. Now let's get on with this review. Resident Evil 7. Holy cow. This is by far not only the best looking game, but also the creepiest game in the series. It's really fucked up. But Capcom's finally listened to us and they finally went back to the horror roots of the series, survival horror. This time in first person. And at first I was not really excited for the first person view. I had my ups and downs with it, but after a while you really get used to this game in first person. But not only that, it goes in the depths of feeling like a Resident Evil experience with the inventory and finding more ammunition, chemicals, kind of more of a Resident Evil 3, to me, a Resident Evil 3 feel, where you're making your ammunition, and that sort, and you're dealing with new characters. And where 5 and 6 are really more fun playing with other people. I mean, I know people will say 6 is just stupid. I can kind of see their points, but can we all just agree that Leon's campaign was probably the best out of the campaigns that were in that game? But this one just, it's so great in the atmosphere too. There are jump scares in it, but they're jump scares where you're so into the character that you kind of don't expect something to jump at you. Because there were several times where I freaked out. My girlfriend was laughing at me while I was playing this game. But, main character, he plays Ethan. He's looking for his wife who's been missing for 3 years. It's really a mystery to solve, like the previous games. And you gotta look around for more clues and inspect everything. Use your ammunition wisely. That's what I loved about it so much. It took me at least 8 hours to complete this game. 9 hours to complete this game. I didn't get all the bobbleheads, so I know I gotta go back and find those guys. And didn't get all the files, so I know I have to go back for that. Now, I know there's been some DLC that's come out recently. One where you play Clancy the cameraman from that demo beginning hour. I'm not really into that one, where you're in a bed and you get out of the bed and you have to solve a couple puzzles and you have to rearrange everything and get back into bed before Marguerite comes, and if she sees anything different, she kills you. That one doesn't seem really interesting to me. The other DLC does seem... The one DLC that is really, really getting my interest, and it's because he's my favorite character. Spoiler alert in case you haven't played the game. Chris Redfield makes an appearance at the end of the game. Now, I know there's been speculation whether or not if it is Chris or if it's not Chris. I mean, there's been some fans that have said maybe it's Hunk. And the reason some fans say it's Hunk, and I can agree... I mean, the speculation that it could be Hunk is because that teaser trailer that we got for Resident Evil Revelations, where we hear Chris give a monologue about he messed up, he's tied, he doesn't have a shirt on, of course, because he's Chris Redfield, you gotta show off the muscles. He's tied up. And then we see Hunk, too, like a flash of Hunk. If you guys know what I'm talking about, go and see the Resident Evil Revelations teaser trailer. And then all of a sudden it has Jill pointing a gun. And it's like, why are you pointing a gun at Chris? And all of a sudden Chris comes out of the shadows and he's pointing a gun at her. And then it's like, wait a minute. So who's the dude who's tied up? And it's a completely different voice. So who knows? They might play around with that. But me personally, I mean, I kind of want to believe it. Maybe it is Hunk. Maybe Hunk and Chris look alike. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to believe it, but then on the other hand, I really don't. I'm more for it's Chris because we get the DLC that says not a hero. Which really, really is interesting because at the end of the game, we see the helicopter is an Umbrella Corporation helicopter. So, did Chris steal? Did Chris and his BSAA team steal a helicopter to rescue these people? Because, I mean, the weapon he gives you is a STARS handgun near the end of that game, where, of course, it's classic Resident Evil. That's what I love about the end of the game. It feels like classic, like the first Resident Evil, where Brad throws down a gun and says, "Here, use it, shoot it, whatever it is." Except Chris just says, "Use it." But yeah, that's the only DLC I'm really waiting for. And also the Vendetta. Oh man, I cannot wait for Vendetta to come out. If you've already seen my review of me going on a rant about Resident Evil, the final chapter of the live action film, go ahead and check that one out. I don't even want to go on a rant on it right now. But I'm definitely excited. I'm more excited to see him and Leon together as partners compared to what they were in Resident Evil 6, where they were kind of rivaling each other. It seems so much interesting. And to see where it leads. And also they said that Vendetta will answer all the questions that we had about Resident Evil 6. To clean up the mess that is Resident Evil 6. But this Resident Evil 7 is a massive, massive buy. It's a really big buy, guys. I highly recommend it. If you're not sure, if you're new to Resident Evil, give it a rent. Go to Redbox and rent it, or if one of your friends has it, just borrow it from them. Or just watch people on YouTube like the rest of us do and just watch them play this game. And then and if you're curious about it, pick it up, play it. You'll really enjoy it. If you want to get spooked, turn off the lights, get like a big headset, and you'll freak. You'll really freak out. And after being it's made me go back and play the originals. I'm already starting to play Resident Evil 3 Nemesis again because that one's such a cool game. Mainly it's because I miss Jill, but also speaking about the Vendetta movie, a character we have not seen in a long while is coming back, and that's Rebecca Chambers. She's going to be in Resident Evil Vendetta. And another character two characters we haven't seen in a long while, especially speaking of Rebecca, where's Billy? We never seen Billy. Even though I never really cared for his character. But I know fans probably are curious, like, wonder what he's up to. Or maybe he could work with the BSAA under a different name. Who knows? But another character I'm curious about, and he should work for the BSAA, and it's Carlos Oliveira. Because even though he's hitting on Jill so much in Resident Evil Nemesis, I would love to see him return if he's in Vendetta, which he probably isn't. I'm sure he isn't when we see it. But yeah, if they have another plan for Resident Evil 8, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna end it. If they're still gonna keep going, because I mean, some people could say that this one could be a reboot, but it's more of a reboot of the gameplay of the genre itself. For Resident Evil 7, it's more of a reboot of the genre in the direction that 4 and 5 and 6 took us on. But it's so much fun. It's so creepy. You get scary. You really feel like you went through that experience yourself, even though it is in first person, and you switch through characters and you get different endings. Like, you feel like you are in that nasty old house. It feels like maybe you could smell like that nasty mold. But, yeah. I give the game a 9 out of 10. It is worth the buy. It is worth your money. It was worth my money. I didn't get the collector's edition, uh, budgeting myself for other stuff that I'm getting, but I highly recommend it to you again, especially if you're a Resident Evil fan. And even if you're a Resident Evil fan, if you're curious about this game, like I said before, watch people on YouTube play it. If you have a friend, borrow it from them. Or if you're just a curious old veteran, just stick with the old Resident Evil games. And also, hopefully, we get a sneak peek of Resident Evil 2, the remake that they're doing for modern consoles. And my big question, I'm pretty sure we all have this question: is it going to be the fixed camera angles, or is it going to be in third person over the shoulder, or is it going to be first person? I hope it's not first person. I I just don't. I can't see it in first person for Resident Evil 2. But who knows? I mean, it'd be kind of cool if Capcom gave us an option. What we had for Resident Evil 5 and the Lost Nightmares with Chris and Jill. There's a certain code I believe you can enter in that you can have it be old school camera angles from Resident Evil 1, from the old school Resident Evil games. Hopefully they can do that for Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2 the remake, because they're working really hard. They're keeping it really secret. Well, I just have high hopes for it. I really shouldn't have my hopes way too high because I mean, we've had our hopes shattered in the past. So until next time, you guys have a good one. See ya.